the south end of Phoenix, where we get together every week to try to find new ways to share and connect to each other. And we have done this for the last 7.5 years. When we started, we had Zoom going even when we were in the restaurants. And it has never changed. We always gave somebody the opportunity to come in and have that freedom if they couldn't make it, whether it's a snowstorm, whether they were in a wheelchair, whether they just couldn't come in because the kids were sick or whatever. And it's been pretty much an online thing, even when we were, personally. So we're really we've had a lot of experience in being online, and I have to say that I think we're probably one of the best in terms of doing this online networking on a regular basis. So let's get right into our education, and Jacqueline has a story that she'd like to relay. Jacqueline, go ahead.
Well, I'm seeing the yellow school buses going by only, I guess, on Tuesday. Amazing to see the parents that are out thinking, Yahoo, my kids are out to get some vacation. Oh, I'm on vacation now, to get some education. And we understand just how challenging it was over the last 2 years to get the educating going. And I will also say that adults decided to educate themselves as well. I've spoken to so many who have decided to upgrade their skills. It doesn't matter where it was. I know that people have upgraded to a master's, upgraded to a PhD, upgraded what they do in their world, in their careers. The 2 years that we had called COVID allowed us to take stance on where we really want to be. And when we see those little kids get on the school bus, we're allowing them to find their places. We are suggesting that we will be there to support them. We know we've got teachers. We know that we have principals. We've got parents who are saying, let us do this for you. And I believe that as adults, we have that around us. That's why we are here in Phoenix. We have the lift. Where do you need to go? Where do you want to get to? Because there's options out there. And that's what we see. When I see those little people get on school buses, they're our next leaders. So let's help them. So that's my thought of the day.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's very, very true, Jacqueline. That's a good reminder of where we are, and when we are looking at these kids growing up, we were there and we were looking for guidance and leading, and we have led this far. But you're right that they're going to be our future leaders. So thank you, Jacqueline, for that. So let's get right into our introductions, and let's start with Penny Lee. Penny Lee, and what's happening in your world?
Good morning, Penny Lee Provo, the Dancing Motivator. I'm also the co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers Incorporated. Graduate is actually an opportunity for new entrepreneurs to have a board of directors, if you will, to bounce ideas off of and learn from each other, but particularly learn lessons step by step to help them grow their business. And this past Tuesday, we had our monthly strategy session. And so what I'm looking for today are potential entrepreneurs, people thinking about maybe starting a business, or people who are relatively new in business within their first 5 years, and invite them to come and join us for affordable coaching to help them build their business one step at a time using the 4 C's for success strategy and the positive attitude zone philosophy. So at Graduate is where success takes flight.
Thank you, Penny Lee. Awesome. And okay, let's go right into Jacqueline. You're next.
And I recognize those little people, those little humans who got on school buses. They did absolutely take a deep breath, lift their shoulders, take them back and drop them down and hop on that school bus. Penny Lee, that was great what you said about entrepreneurs. I had a conversation with a client who has decided to purchase a company, and he only needed $100,000 to purchase. He said, Jacqueline, I've spoken to you 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and I still have your number. Can you help? As a matter of fact, we're going to have a conversation. How can we do this for you? And there are ways. So when you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money and your business strategies, you want to contact the Mortgage Honey.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Tanya, over to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Hewitt from Beyond Safety Compliance. I'd just like to segue off of some of Jacqueline's content. Often in September, we do think about school, we think about little kids, and we think about teachers and learning. However, workplaces are not schools. There was a fantastic talk of a conference that I went to in June, where Andrea Baker had talked about how a lot of workplaces infantilize their employees and treat the relationship as parent-child. Managers and leaders are not parents of employees. And the kind of relationship that you might have with children or with students is not the same kind of relationship that you should have with leaders, managers, and employees. And this is something that a lot of workplaces might not realize. They pull from their own experience. Well, hey, I know what my teacher did. I know what my parent did. I know how I parent, and that's how they bring things to the workplace, but it's not the same kind of dynamic at all. Beyond Safety Compliance, how does your work look?
Thank you, Tanya. Joanne, over to you.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, everyone. Joanne with Eastern Ottawa Resource Centre, a nonprofit organization in the eastern part of Ottawa, serving clients from newborn to seniors, all the way from Cumberland, all the way to the south end of the city. And since we're in the theme of September and back to school, I can just point out that we're very busy this time of year with our seniors getting ready for fall appointments. They're getting ready to hunker down in their homes and getting all of their essential medical appointments done and over with, and as well with our back to school program, which we were able to serve 152, I believe, clients with full backpacks of essential supplies to get them back, to get them ready for school. And it's for especially those who are not able to provide to their children's needs for school otherwise. And it's thanks to fundraising efforts that we're able to offer low-income seniors transportation services and low-income families with back-to-school needs for their children. So thank you to Phoenix for organizing the golf tournament for us, which is in 2 weeks. Thank you very much, Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne. That's great. And for those that are watching on Facebook Live or LinkedIn or on our YouTube channel, if you have any questions for any of our members, just jot them down. If you would like to come into one of our meetings, let us know ahead of time, and we'd be happy to give you a warm welcome. We are about great supporting businesses in some way, and this is one of the ways that we do it so that it is convenient for you, and all you have to do is just log in. We turn all those into and help into just what Joanne was saying. We are supporting local charities and that, and so it's all about being prosperous ourselves and sharing that with the community. So let us know. Next is, hey, Sam, you're up next.
Thanks, Tony. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturris, ConnectedCars.ca, also known as Dashcam Sam, because, well, I know a fair bit about dash cameras. And, well, I want to talk about dash cameras today because, well, there's lots out there and they're not all made the same. There's some features that you definitely have to make sure you have, and I'm going to talk about two of them. First is the quality of the lenses. If their lens is not good enough to read the license plates, you're wasting your time, because if you have an accident and the person drives away or takes off and all you can do is tell them it's a gray Corolla, there's about 1,000 of them probably in the Ottawa area on the road right now. So you got to make sure those lenses can identify the license plate information. And one other thing I would recommend is making sure you get parking mode, which is a feature that activates the dash camera even when the car is off. So there's two features right there that I would recommend. And if you're contemplating it or you know someone that is, please give me a call and we can discuss it. Sam Sturris, connectedcars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle and a heck of a lot more.
Thank you, Sam. Bernie, over to you.
Thank you, Tony. Bernie Francois, Creative Insight Consultants. We do connections between businesses, and this is how you can find, or we help you find those new connections to expand your horizon. Either add a service, you become the service, or you do a joint venture. And just piped in my contact details. I also have a podcast called Knack for Business, and it talks about people's journey in that business space and different experts, everything from a chiropractor like Shane to an accountant like Eric and so forth. Plus, we also have a couple things coming up on the horizon. We have the World Referral Network, and you know what? That golf game, September 14th. Soon you won't be hearing me prattle on about it, but it's happening on the 14th. Sign up. They're starting to roll in. You can get your, if you want to be paired off with somebody, let us know. Even if you're signing up separately from them, it's all doable, extremely doable. Thank you, Tony. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Bernie. Great. Hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. I have the belief that if you are connected to yourself and you know who you are, you have a lot of inner confidence, your business will also thrive. Because sometimes when we waver personally, it does somehow have a small shockwave in our business, because it's really hard to have a very successful business, but you're depressed and you're down and you're always on yourself and you don't think you deserve something. Your business will have the same matrix of energy. So what I do is try and work with the inside first. If anything's going on, if you're looking for how to compete with your competitors, one of the first things they do is look at what are they doing? What are they doing? I have no idea what they're doing. What are you doing instead? And this is what we cover in our Tune In with Tony. I have a Friday session. It's a free online service from 1:30 to 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I have people from all over the world coming in on this one. And it's my way of giving back to all the success I've had in doing readings and doing all the help that people have come for me for. So you're basically renting my senses, and I'm perfectly okay with that. But as a teacher, my job is to try and teach you how to do all this, because if I could do it, anyone can. It is just about focus. It is about learning how to manage your emotions and doing it all that way. So Tony Jennis from Higher Self, we're here to raise your spirits. Our next person that we have is Terry Black. Every week, we always showcase one particular member of the group that could show their business and show their industry in more than in about a 1-minute segment. And this week, it's Terry Black that we're going to be listening to. So Terry, take it away.
Great, thanks, Tony. So I am Terry Black, and I have 2 daughters. Tressa Lynn is in child and youth worker. She is doing that, and Victoria, my youngest, is finishing her photography. So those are my two gifts of my life. And I have I am your retirement living specialist, and how I got involved with it was I moved in with my mom when I was in my 30s and saw how isolated she became as her illness progressed. So I decided to go back to school and learn how to work with seniors one-on-one. So that's what I did. And I have worked in retirement living, I have worked in long-term care, and I've worked in an agency like Joanne at Ross. So helping the seniors in their homes, supporting them that way. So I have lots of experience and lots of a great network, and that's why I can call myself the retirement living expert. So I am a regional manager with Rivera, and I'm going to do a little presentation today. I'm going to start it now to help me guide my notes. Yes, so we're going to discover more living at Rivera. We're going to understand senior living. We're going to see how Rivera can help your clients and understand the residents' experience. So at Rivera, it's all about living, not aging. We really are invested in creating a better world for older adults.
Harry, your show, your slideshow,
I'll get
Sorry?
Wesley to set up the job site.
your slideshow is not on there.
Okay, thank you. 1 second. Okay. Oh boy. I have to go back to Zoom. That's what I need to do. Okay. There we go. I forgot to share. I'm gonna have to take it back. Though. Just a second.
I'm just saying, whoever.
Is that better? No, it's not better. There we go. Shall we start over?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
so we're going to
Yeah.
discover more living at Revera. As I said, I'm going to help you understand senior living, how Revera helps your clients, and help you understand the residents' experience. At Revera, it's all about living, not aging. We really are invested in creating a better world for older adults. What is retirement living? So retirement residents empower seniors to make the most of every moment with personalized services, choice, and meaningful experience curated to their lifestyle. They're varied in terms of accommodations and amenities and often feel like a close-knit community with a lively social atmosphere. Retirement residences are privately run, but are regulated by provincial governments, and residents cover the cost of the services they choose. So at Revera Living, we have very different levels of care. We go from independent to independent supportive living, assisted living, memory care, and we do trial stays, respite stays, summer stays, and winter stays as well. Dr. Rhonda Collins is our Chief Medical Officer, and Revera was the first in the Canadian senior living sector to appoint such a Chief Medical Officer. And we're dedicated to giving back to the community through Revera Giving. And that is where our residences support, where they're located, support their local charities and do fundraising and support the charities that way. And Habitat for Humanity, of course, is helping people find to be able to live in affordable housing. So let's talk about understanding senior living. So one of the myths, and I'm going to say, we call them myths, but I think it's fears that seniors have, is like, you know, you're not going to be able to have visitors. You can't have family coming over and stuff, but that's not true. You can drop in anytime at any residence when you have family living there. Another one is retirement residents offer great value for your money. So all of your utilities and accommodations, activities, and weekly housekeeping is included in your basic rent. And retirement residents are filled with a diverse range of residents. And so a lot of people feel like they're going to be alone. They're not going to, you know, have any friends around and stuff, but that's not the case, because you make new friends and engage in activities and have lots of fun and build new relationships. A lot of seniors, once they move in, they wish they'd made the move sooner. And a lot of times that's because they feel isolated and alone, and they don't realize how isolated and alone they were until they move into a community residence in retirement. And a lot of people fear that they're going to have to stay in there and not be able to get out and in a retirement residence, but that's not true either, because you come and go as you please. And in fact, our residences often have a bus going out to different shopping centers and different events that you can engage in as well. But yes, you come and go as you please. And you can continue living a life your way. It's your way, your choices, and it's your life. So this is what we encourage and promote. And a lot of times people feel that they can't have family over, like I said, and yes, definitely. We encourage our residents to have family events, birthdays, social events. And you know, they can have their family in their suite and celebrating together, or they can book a private dining room or private space to have their family. And you can also have overnight guests. So yes, you can still have your grandkids come and spend the night with you, or a family member who's out of town. Or if you a family member out of town, you can also we also have suites for guests as well. So there's lots of opportunities for you to have your guests overnight. And your pets are welcome too. We know that pets are family, and we encourage whether you have a dog or cat, a bird, a lizard, whatever it is, your pets are also welcome. And you're never too young to consider retirement living. A lot of people wonder what the age is, but you know, I think our average age of retirement living is about 70 years old. But some people come in younger because they, like I said, are isolated, alone, and just want to be around people and engaged with different activities. And recognizing it's time for a change. So I'll just do this quickly because I think my time's coming up. These are things to consider if you're having questions of whether you might need some extra support at home, whether that's maybe getting in and out of the shower, if you're not steady on your feet anymore, and housekeeping or laundry service if you're not able to cook your meals anymore, or not having any recreation activities or wellness activities. So that's something to consider. Are you as active or social as you want to be within your own community right now where you're living? Could you use help managing your daily personal needs? Are there risks to your safety or well-being in your home? Are you falling a lot? That type of thing. Are you forgetting to turn the stove off after cooking? Those are things to consider. Has your ability to manage your health or care needs changed? Are you forgetting to take your medications? Are you needing more support, care needs, as like support from your family, for example? And could you use help managing your finances? Are your bills getting paid? Are they not getting paid? These are all things to consider. And if you said yes to one of these questions, it's really maybe time to look at retirement living, and we can offer options that are tailored to meet your unique needs. I have some more time. So we offer a full range of accommodation options and services to tailor your lifestyle, whether it be, like I said, independent supportive living, which is living independently still with a little bit of care. And I just want to stress too, it doesn't matter whether you need independent supportive living, assisted living, or memory care. At Revera, we encourage independence in all levels of aging. So that's what you'll find at Revera. Yes, definitely encourage independence, and then you get the help where you need the help. So what are your first impressions when you're looking in retirement homes? You know, first impressions are everything. So how does it feel? How are the staff talking to the residents? How are they treating the residents? What's the atmosphere like? Are people engaged? Or are people, sitting alone and not talking to each other? That type of thing. What's the food like? Definitely recommend booking a tour and staying for lunch with me. And we would be happy to have you and have you sample the food. And is there bus transportation? Does the residents offer transportation as well? Is OC Transpo available? Paratranspo available? That type of thing. So consider that as well when you're looking. Can I continue doing the things I love? Of course, even though our suites mostly don't have full kitchens, there are activity kitchen, like space for kitchens, and you do baking and stuff, and you're welcome to use that as well. Will I have to move if my needs change? Well, the thing is that a lot of our properties, a lot of our homes have full care. So if you started out of independent, you can age in place at our residences. So you wouldn't have to move unless you wanted to. Oh, sorry, I set my timer. I guess that's it. We can help host your next meeting or event. We can offer a great referral program. If you refer directly to me, I am happy to give you a referral fee that we offer, and you can ask me about that. And we're also happy to continue this conversation with you. We're having an open house event across the city on Saturday, September 16th, 2 to 4. So if there's one residence in particular you are interested in, you can look on site at riveraliving.com and check it out and RSVP if you don't mind. You got questions, you can reach out to me. And thank you. Thanks everyone for your time. Are there any questions? Sam.
Thanks, Terry, for your presentation. My question is, those guest suites, is there a cost involved in that? And if so, what is the approximate cost?
Yeah, so it depends. It's just kind of like a respite suite too. So I think most of the properties, it varies from property to property, but I think that you would say like maybe $120 a night, and that includes your meals.
Thank
So you get 3 meals a day and it includes everything as well. So you get to have your meals with your loved one as well.
That's cheaper than a hotel.
Yeah, it is cheaper than a hotel. Yeah. Yeah. So it's good.
So Terry, you had worked with this kind of thing previously, and I was wondering if you could just tell us, you know, how you view retirement since you moved to this company.
Well, yeah, that's a really interesting question. So I worked with a third-party agency that helps seniors find retirement homes previously. And I love that job, and I love working one-on-one, and I love being able to help the seniors. So my role is similar, except I'm working with Revera now. And the difference is that I feel that more confident in what I'm able to offer, because I am working for a large, positively reputable company. And also I can support the seniors better. And how I mean that is that when we don't work with a third party, so you come to me directly instead of a third party, then I'm able to help the senior more. And by that, I mean, for example, if they say their furniture is really old and they want new furniture moving into a retirement residence, I'd be able to help them with that. But when you have to pay a third party, I can't help them with that because I have to pay the third party. So the key is to come to me directly, and I'll be able to help your loved one and better support you that way.
Okay, that's everybody. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Harry.
And the nice thing is that I have the support of all of the residences. So today, currently, we have 14 in the city. So we have a wide range of, retirement residents to choose from. And everyone's unique, so I'm able to help them find the perfect place for them.
Okay. Thank you very much, Terry.
Thank you.
That's great. That was great. Yeah, because there was a bit of a delay there in the beginning, so we were going to give you a little bit more time. But yeah, that was great. That fountain in the back, is that on one of your facilities? The fountain that that it showed, that one of the last pictures. It looked like it was from
it's one of the
something.
Yeah, one of our homes. Yes, definitely, but I don't think it's in Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So we have properties all across, like Canada, the US, the UK, like
Yes.
we're all over. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Terry, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Penny Lee, if you can announce some of the speakers that are coming up in the next week or so. I know next week there's no meeting because of the Labor Day weekend and the kids are back to school. So we're having that week off. I think many of us will appreciate that little rest, because there's a lot of stress letting the kids go on the buses, and even grandkids. You know, some of us are putting grandkids on the bus. So
yeah. So we've got Eric Perro is lined up for the 14th, and then Sheldon Carrasco for the 21st, and Norm is scheduled for the 28th. Norm, I thought, was on the call this morning.
He was. I also saw him. He was in a truck trying to manipulate the video. So he attempted to come in, and I actually marked him down. But I guess with the Wi-Fi, whatever, I don't think it's Wi-Fi. It's more of whatever the data can absorb on his tablet. But yeah, he tried to come in. But I'm glad that Steve is here. So
Hi.
Steve,
Hi, sorry.
how would you like to
for me, but-
tell us a little introduction about yourself to the folks?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I shouldn't really be allowed to do this. Sorry I'm late, but great to see you all. And thank you. I'm Steve Brennickmeyer by Media Design, and I help you with web stuff and, basically your website and your online marketing. So this week I'm looking for anyone who's got a site that doesn't seem to load properly, or it just is plain out of date, doesn't work on a mobile phone. Those are great clients for me. And if you come across one, that's a great referral for me. Just put me on it, send the link to me and go, Steve, this guy looks like, or a person or a company looks like they could use some help. And that's a great way to send me some business. And I would greatly appreciate it. I'll just call the company in question and just start a conversation. So by Media Design, helping you leverage your online presence.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Okay, great. And just a quick a bunch of stats. I mean, we're at the last day of the month, and so for next, not the next week, of course, but the week after, get together some of the business that you've done in the month of August, because we're going to be asking for that. Because on this day, we always try and culminate the businesses or the business activity that we've had with others. This way, we could really measure what is really going on. This is our website at pbex.ca, and so far we're at $201,000 worth of shared business this year, since this January. That adds to the 4.5 million that we've shared over the last 7.5 years. This is, again, why when something is measurable, you could really sort of follow and monitor its progress. And so we don't need to know any details as to what you got, just how much funds did you spend on another member. And so it just gives us those facts anyway in that way. We have 351 referrals, and that's 348 BAMs. So as you can see, we're always within 10, 11 BAMs as opposed to compared to referrals. So get out and do those BAMs, guys. It makes a huge difference. Overall, we've had just over 6,900 referrals since we started. And the e-cards is something that we're now following. And this is something that actually Terry touched on, is that, I haven't seen you for like a couple of years, or I think it was Jacqueline. I haven't seen you for a couple of years, and now I'm ready to either buy or have a chat with you and see how we can do. And that's exactly what the e-cards do. Since when somebody scans your QR or they click your link on social media in some way, they will have access to that information. Over 70% of what the activity is on social media is on people's phone. So when they click it, it goes right on their phone, not directly, but they can transfer that onto their phone. And when they get a new phone, what is the first thing that you do? It's almost like it's invaluable, is your contact information. So all the contact information goes from your phone, the old phone, over to the new one. So if after 10 years, actually, you'll probably have about 3, 4, maybe 5 phones. It's usually changed every couple of years, but in my case, I'll have a phone for at least 3, maybe 4 years, as it's still working. However, all that time, in 10 years, all that contact information is brought over. So they still have your information. And so when somebody clicks on your link, that means they don't have your information on the phone. Once I have someone's information, I'm not going to click that information again. So these are all new potential customers, new clients that could potentially come to you down the road. That's why it's very important to keep that information and to be able to have that active. The beautiful part is after 10 years, let's say you change your website, you change your picture, you change your address. So many things have changed. When somebody clicks on that, they get all the updated new information because it's all automatically upgraded as soon as they click it again after so many years. So that's why it's very powerful. We're at 8,700 clicks or potential clients for this year. That's from January to measuring it to right now. That's 8,700 clicks as a group that we have done. And so we're just going to see what that potential will do in the future. And we see it pretty great. If you know you have a visitor that's coming in, you just send them to this site. It has all of the meetings, like for instance, today, a Thursday, they would just click this and the Zoom information is already embedded in the button and they go right into Zoom. That way you don't have to remember numbers. We want to make it so easy so a visitor won't get lost. Even if you get a new computer and you forget the number, it's not in your information anymore. You just go to our site, click the link, and you're in. It's that easy. Special events, these are some of the things that we will do. The charity golf, as Bernie had pointed out earlier, is happening on September the 14th. If you're still interested in playing golf, you just click this and you register right away. It goes right on to the Canadian Golf Course site, and you could put your information in and do yourself, or you can do a twosome or a threesome or a foursome, I should say, and you get together a group. If you want to sponsor some of that over and above, it starts at $100, and it's a great way to get your business exposure out there because we do a lot of social media on that day and that. So, Bernie, you want to add anything to this? You're involved with this golf quite heavily. You've been promoting it so well over the last few months.
Yeah, so $160 gets you in, and if you're getting a group of 4 together, if you split that cost for $600, you can promote a business. The electronic post will show up when your logo will show up on the golf cart as you hit up to that one hole. Plus, it'll get promoted elsewhere through our social media contacts or through social media feeds. So it's worthwhile. And yeah, and actually, if you do the foursome at 600, you save some money too. You're gonna have fun. And if you are a high-end golfer, let us know. That way we'll put you in the lead. That way you can zip through. And if you're there for a relaxed game, we'll put you more closer to the caboose. So that way you can amble through and enjoy your time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Bernie. And we think it's very important that because of over the last few years, we've had these challenges with COVID and there's been restrictions and so on. We think it's very important that we still maintain that human connectivity. And so once a month, we do what we call a mix and mingle. And this one is going to be at one of the Riveras. I believe it's going to be in Barhaven is our next one. And to register for that, just so we can know how much people are going to come for that, it's actually on Prince of Wales, actually. So it's not at Barhaven. This Prince of Wales one is great. And to basically go for it, it's on September the 26th, and you could just simply sign up for it. If you're a visitor, those that are watching on Facebook Live or LinkedIn, we welcome guests. If you have a business and you want to meet some of our incredible members, these are people that are not new in this business. They've been at it for a while, very well educated, and they are informed. And so if you want that kind of great connectivity and collaboration and so on, just come on in. So you can just register for it, put your email in, and we'd be happy to have you there for that. So it is a great way, again, to network and to be able to be part of that whole situation there. We, in our activity, as I said, for next week in September, we are that first week is off, so there's no meetings for next week. Okay, later on today, Penny Lee is looking at the Moving to Heal dance at 10 o'clock. I highly recommend that. It is a great way to heal, to move, because that's what it's all about. We got to keep active because we keep hearing that movement is medicine. It's an incredible way to keep yourself healthy. I do my tuning in with Tony meditation every Friday at 1:30. And the link is all there. And we have it's a flea market for Sweet Life. This is one of our members in the Bell's Corners group that is cooking up some great things. So the link is there if you want any more information there. And Jacqueline is doing her chair yoga on Sundays. All right, so that's these are all activities happening there. And after hours group on September the 5th, which is the first Tuesday of every month, we do a mastermind. And this one, Penny Lee Prevost, she's a master at getting your goals down and making it very specific. And she will hold you accountable. And that's the point. When we are held accountable, when we know that we have to attest to something, if it's not just, well, it's good enough. Penny Lee is awesome at that. She can make sure that you attain your goals, and at the end of the year, you'll be proud of yourself. That's really what it's all about. The all other activities we have. I'm just going through this. Okay, of course we have our charity golf on the 14th, as we had mentioned, and all the links are there if you are looking at golfing or sponsoring that event. Second annual Beckwith Thrive and Vibe. I believe this is. I'm not sure who is doing this one.
Part of Dwight's. It's part of Dwight's.
Oh yeah, this is part of Dwight's. Yes. Thank you, Bernie, for that correction. There, yeah, and that's Dwight's event there. And Beyond Safety Compliance. Tanya Hewitt does her. I believe it's a quarterly webinar with this one. And what are you going to be talking about? We do have Tanya here. What are you going to be talking about this year or this particular event?
We're going to be talking about communication.
Communication. Wow, that's a big subject. That's one of the biggest things that in business and personally to be very clear. Thank you, Tanya. I think that's going to be awesome. And then we have other ones in our autumn spiritual workshop, and then the Heart Link. You want information on that? It's a great network for women, and that's great. Okay, that's about it for there.
Tony,
yep.
Just before you veer off the screen, other than Mix and Mingle, there's also something on September 30th, the concussion awareness, and that's with Shane Bayless. It's actually at Shane's workshop.
Oh, okay. That's a new one. Okay, that's great. Okay.
Totally brand new. Totally in last night.
Okay, all right. Yeah, this is Shane. Yeah, he's extremely talented there. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what that's all about. Thank you, Bernie. Okay, and so if you've done business with anybody, if you've done a BAM with somebody, a business activity meeting, as we call it for those that are watching, and or a testimonial, let us know, because we do like to know those things and make a note. So as far as a business perspective, how has your week been? And so let's start with the lovely Terry Black.
Thanks, Tony. So I've had a busy week. I am getting out there, educating people on retirement living, and that's one thing I also do is I go do presentations. So I'm looking, if you have any clients, if you want to get some clients together, if you want to do a Zoom, I'm happy to present virtually, and I'm here to help and educate people. So that's what I've been busy doing. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Terry. And just a note, and just to add on to this, if you're doing a Google review, that also counts as a referral. Oftentimes we get people to say, I really don't have a lot of opportunity to give direct referrals. How else can I help? And a Google review is great. It doesn't cost anything. You just find, if you've done any association with that member, you can just go right to their Google time, and we have that embedded in their e-card. If you go to anyone's e-card, we sometimes will have to dig up almost 15 minutes to find their link for Google, and it'll save you that time just by pressing a button, because it'll say give a Google review to whoever. All right, so that's a great way. Just let us know you've done that. Okay. I've done one for Sam and many others. You just have to ask. That's one of the things that I got to do more. I always look at other people, make sure that they're happy, and I always forget myself. So that's something that I have to learn as well. So over to Steve. How has your business week been, buddy?
Well, it's been busy. I've been sort of nose to the grindstone, especially for Tanya, she knows, and working through getting that website launched for her, but it's making good progress. So I'm trying to move forward. Dave Beliveau came and gave me some great salmon again, and so his service is always it's always great to have him come over, and I might be playing tennis with him too, so there's a social aspect to it as well. As for other things, I'm trying to move forward gradually with other BAMs, other Zooms, but we're yeah, so it's in progress in terms of meeting with everyone else. Have a great week, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
And thanks
Sam,
for the presentation.
over to you,
That was Terry, very good presentation. I'm glad to see you've landed well with Rivera. That looks very solid, and I didn't know they were in the UK as well, but that's good to know. I have relatives there actually, so interesting.
Yeah. And Sam, over to you. How has your business week been?
Very good, Tony. Actually, today will be my third dash camera installation of the week, so things are moving along well. Things also gone on. Well, I'm waiting on Susan Ebbs. I ordered some more cleaning supplies from her, and I continue when I give receipts to my customers. I advertise for Alex and the Voltas in case people are looking at the EVs and need a power supply for them at their house. And that's it for me. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Terry, great presentation. Thanks for clarifying the information, what the Rivera does for people. There's lots of misinformation out there about retirement homes, and thank you for clarifying what they do for people. Thank you very much.
Very true. Very true. Thanks, Sam. Penny Lee, over to you. How has your business week been?
So far, so good. I wanted to thank Terry for her presentation. Of course, we all have limiting ideas of what we think a retirement home or retirement living is. So it's great to see so many options that people can still enjoy their life, just have services available to them to make things easier and more comfortable. So that's really cool. Wanted to thank Jacqueline for her education as well, her story that she shared. And I think September is a time when many of us as entrepreneurs also decide to take courses to enhance our skills as well, or at least think about that anyways. And then I wanted to say thank you to Tanya for joining us for our potluck, our Women's Business Network potluck last night. So I'm going to count that as actually she did get a couple of referrals of people that are interested in working with her. So, and she did a great job at presenting what she does, because I know she's fine-tuned that over the course of time being here at Phoenix. And so I would say that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that I introduced Tanya to last night. So I'm going to say that's 6 referrals. 2 solidly.
Thank you, Penny Lee. And Jacqueline, how has your week been business-wise?
And as everyone else has said, Terry, that was such a great presentation. Had me thinking, how do I want to live when I retire? And that R word I didn't know I would be interested in. But the food you showed, Terry, it's been a really interesting week. I have a meeting with Wendy with, it's later today. I have a meeting with Wendy, which is great. I will be on the call, Tony, on Friday. Yahoo! Anyway, everyone have a fantastic, and Tanya and I are supposed to be connecting next week when we're not here. It's like, okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Jacqueline.
Ciao for now.
And Terry, we have done you, haven't we? Yeah, okay. The tile keeps moving sometimes. Tanya, how was your week?
Pretty good, as I think actually I've been covered here because I've been spending a lot of time with Steve, and I was with Penny Lee last night, and probably going to be spending a bit more time with Steve before the website gets done, and yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing so far.
Good. No, I can't wait to see that, because between the collaboration with you and Steve, it'll be interesting to see. And I like your new logo, by the way. It's energetically, it's very good. Yeah, I like it. And Bernie, how about you? How was your week's been business-wise?
Business-wise, it's been going well. Like Tony and Joanne, we had a BAM earlier in the week talking about the golf tournament. So squaring that up, setting up the lists. So that's motoring along. Probably do some BAMs. Heading out to Sudbury tomorrow. So I'm not BAMing. I'm driving. If I'm BAMing, I'm probably not enjoying myself then. And not that I don't mind talking to people, but yeah. So that's kind of the cap off. Terry, thank you for the presentation. As always, pleasure. And over to you, Tony.
Yay. Driving to the rock, as they say.
Yeah. Well, it looks prettier than it used to. So, and actually, it'll be with the fall weather coming in and the leaves, it'll probably have that real pretty look to her.
Actually, it's interesting. Last week, I started to notice some of the trees, at least in the Calabogie area, even now starting to change. Like they're not, the bright colors yet, but you can already starting to change from the green to the other orangey sort of colors. So it's amazing how with all the times that because we've had cold weather too. So I guess the trees are getting ready for that coming in. So yeah, thank you, Terry. It was a great presentation. Yeah, your finesse about making these presentations are great. So if anybody asks you to do a presentation outside, you're polished. You're doing well. Way to go. Nice. I like that. Did some business with Cindy over the weekend and had a BAM with Jacqueline last week. Thank you, Jacqueline. It was great to connect with you again and sort of get that idea of the new company that you're with and how that I could give you other referrals. So it's good. It was a good meeting. Loved it. Susan McGarry had some business with her, and Dave will be ordering. I will be ordering some stuff with Dave in the next couple of days. Things are progressing there very well. And that's it for today. So, Bernie, if you could post the final thought for the day.
The final thought, no, it's not the final thought for the day, but the final thought for a meeting. All endings are just beginnings. We just don't know it at the time. That's from Mitch Album.
Okay, awesome. And thank you. And for those on Facebook Live and LinkedIn and YouTube, have yourself a great